Good evening, sports fans. My name is Dan Pride of Norwich, Asbury, and I am here to welcome you to the Wrong Call Sportscast. Dave and Josh Tidwell. Oh, I almost went somewhere I didn't want to go. I even scared myself, man. But anyway, these guys cover everything from Major League Baseball to the NFL to college football gridiron action to college baseball to the local dart league at the local Choke and Puke Bar and Grill. All right. Give it up for the Wrong Call Sportscast. Dave and Josh get it, and they're going to get some tonight. Welcome. Goodbye.
Welcome to this month's edition of the Wrong Call Sportscast. I'm Josh Tidwell with Dave Yagi.
That's me.
That's this guy right here. We are catching up with you guys, man. It's the once a month. We are 1 month away from coming to you every single week for the NFL season. So
Yeah,
pretty fucking excited. It's about time.
I'm pretty excited. And we got football tomorrow,
And
football Saturday,
Friday,
football
Saturday, Sunday.
Sunday night game.
Yeah. And we're 10 days away from the college football season starting. So
Yeah,
August 29th.
they still doing the week 0.
Yes. Yeah. North Carolina is playing, I can't remember who
That's
off the top of my head, in Ireland. So
Yeah, another team that they should
Yeah.
have spent all that
But
money for
it's
them to go to.
UNC. So it's time, guys. Football season is upon us. We've got preseason going. We got training camps going on. So, typically this part of the show, we introduce ourselves and give you a little breakdown. I'm on vacation. I've been busy, so I didn't have time to do a lot of notes today. So if you want to catch up on the PGA, on F1, IndyCar, and NASCAR, Google it. I didn't do anything this week. Sorry.
I'm enjoying the vacation because I already know what's coming up. So I'm totally cool, man. I'm just watching a shitload of baseball.
Yep.
I'm doing that. I'm just coasting through. We moved my son into college down at IU.
Yep.
Senior year.
Yeah. If you guys follow us on the socials, you saw us down there at the
couple
home of the
days.
champs,
This dude worn out from fucking
moving
lugging shit upstairs.
couches and dressers upstairs in a little bitty narrow 5'8" tall high stairwell. It was tough, but we got it done. We got the kid in.
Yep. So-
Senior year at IU. Got to be proud of him. So he was there. He was there for the 16-0 national championship Hoosiers.
Mhm.
He's really excited about wanting to go to that game while we're camping when they hang the banner.
Yeah.
Whether he goes or not, we'll see.
Who the fuck wouldn't be?
I mean, it's Indiana. They've never done anything like this.
Yeah,
so
I know. So
everybody
that's
wants to go to that
once
game.
a lifetime thing.
When he told me about it, he says, I know everybody's camping that weekend. So, Bloomington's just down the road from campsite. He said, let's go to the game. He said, it's against North Texas. Tickets are cheap. I'm like, they're hanging a banner of something they've never done. And every alum in the world is going to want to go to that game.
I can almost guarantee that.
So he's like, oh, I didn't think about that. So yeah, this isn't a $20 ticket, bud. It's not happening.
Right now it is.
Probably now, I bet you it's 200 at the least. So
It's 150 as the other day we looked together.
yeah, because I'm like, everybody's going to want to be there to see the national championship banner hung down in Bloomington. So
Well, yeah.
that's not going to be a cheap ticket. But so thank you, possibly, maybe, to Dan for the intro that we just got. We'll see if we get it. If we do get it,
That was tried to backdoor me and use my real name.
yes. So if we do
I
get it,
ixnayed on that. So
that was the pride of Norwich, Mr. Dan Asbury. Maybe.
yeah, let's pretend that just happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'll edit later. So, hey, Dan, thanks for the intro, buddy. If we get it.
Hot off the press from Florida.
That's right. Again, I didn't do a lot of homework for catching up. We've got Brian from the Last Row podcast going to join us here in a little bit.
Speaking of Brian, our buddy Brian Marshall does all the golf stuff, the master stuff with us. Our golf aficionado
That's right.
of the group, our golf correspondent, is doing a charity thing where he hits 300
golf
or
balls.
some shit
Yes.
like
Let
that.
me find it real quick because definitely you guys should go out and support it. It's
Yeah, totally support it. It's fighting against cancer. That was a big thing in my life. It's been a big thing in his life. So yeah, definitely support it. The link is up on the Facebook page. He posted it like a week or so ago when he was talking about it, mentioned it and whatever. I'm going to ask him again that after this show is posted live, that he repost it on the Facebook page to give you the link and you donate.
there you go. I
Do
found
whatever
it.
you
So,
wanna do.
so my mom and dad had cancer and
Yes.
beat it.
That's
And I
fact.
know plenty of people that have. So I'm hitting 300 golf balls for the American Cancer Society.
Yep.
You guys get out there donate. He's just trying to raise $500. The link is on the Wrong Call Sportscast Facebook page. I'll try to link it to some of our other socials so you guys can get there and help him out.
Yeah.
So, like he said, he's the golf guy.
Yeah.
He's going to hit all the balls.
I'll have him repost it fresh once this episode hits the airwaves or the ether, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, his mom had breast cancer. His dad had prostate cancer.
Yep.
My son had lymphoma. My wife had lymphoma.
My mother-in-law had breast cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cancer,
everybody's affected. Everybody's affected by it in some way.
but we all have positive stories coming out of it. So
Absolutely.
that's a good thing. So yeah, help donate to it to help positive stories for other people. It's a scary fucking thing at the beginning of the tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel is a great story. So
Yeah.
that every little penny helps. It really does. It honestly does.
So yeah, get out there and support. We'll add the link. Thanks, Brian. It's a great thing you're doing. So we're behind you at the Wrong Call Sportscast.
Yeah,
and,
always.
Yeah, we're here for you, buddy.
Yep.
So let's catch up on the little bit of sports news that I did do a little research on today because we're in the heat of the MLB season, right? We got
that's all I've been watching.
35 to 38 games, roughly in that vicinity left on the season.
Close.
Before we hit. So just a quick rundown on the standings currently. In the American League, Tampa Bay is 75-50, 5 games ahead of second place in the East. In the Central, the White Sox, who just beat the Cubs, we finished watching that before we started the show.
Barn burn every game.
3-0. But the White Sox are
got 2 hits.
65-60. They got a 4-game lead in the Central. And then the West, the Astros are 63-63 with a 1-game lead. Now over the National League, the Atlanta Braves are 74-52 with a 5.5 game lead. The Brewers 70-48 with a 4.5 game lead. Probably moved up half a game with the loss.
It might be 5 now after today.
And then the Dodgers are 76-51.
But the Cubs have
with an 8-game lead.
Yeah, the Cubs have the number 1 wild card spot as of right now.
Yes. And obviously, like I said, there's still 35, somewhere between 35 to 38 games left for all the teams.
Shit can happen.
Yeah, there's still a lot that can be done. So I've got a few little things in the NFL to bring up before we bring Brian on from the Last Row podcast.
While we're still on baseball real quick.
Yes.
Last night was the largest increment shutout in 133 years.
Okay, fill me in. I didn't catch this.
The Brewers 22-0 over Seattle.
Really?
On a shutout. You didn't see any of that?
No. I was in bed early last night. Told you, busy.
Yeah, but that was like the 133 years.
And that's the biggest.
And it's finally the biggest
22-0.
Yeah, of all time.
And Milwaukee.
The highlights are out there. I'm sure everybody's been watching them all day and will probably watch them tomorrow or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty big news as far as baseball.
Yeah, that's a hell of a run differential right there, bud.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Von Miller signed with the Cowboys this past week.
Yep.
Not sure. We saw on Sports Center before we came up that he's trying to give the owner of the number 40 jersey in Dallas free chickens for a year, for life. Fullback. Yes. I didn't know his name. I didn't catch his name, but Von Miller owns a chicken farm and offered him and said, I don't want to pay him millions of dollars, but I'll give him free chicken for life, off of his chicken farm.
Hey, that might equate to something.
You never know. It's a high quality, low fat protein. So we'll see.
It's delicious buffalo
sauce. Yeah.
Or teriyaki.
In our realm here in Indy, the Colts signed Keenan Allen to a 1-year deal, which I think was a brilliant move for the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, he'll catch 12 balls for you.
As long as they're 12 first downs, I don't care.
If he's just got to stay healthy for 12 plays.
On my drive over here to Dave's house, on the radio, I heard Tyler Warren left practice today with a groin injury. That's a big concern for the Colts.
Pulled it right off.
That's a big concern for the Colts. He's obviously going into his second year after a really, really good rookie season. So let's hope that comes positive here in the next few days.
Supposed to miss a month.
Minimum of a month with an MCL sprain. So, there's that.
Training camp, man. It's hot. It is what it is. Everybody's trying to win the Super Bowl in August. It doesn't happen.
I know you guys out there that watch us pay attention. Like we said, football season's coming up. That means fantasy football drafts are coming, starting. Everybody's got to start doing their mock drafts, getting ready for their teams. We'll see how it goes. Our buddy Mo was in our league for many years, took a hiatus for 3 or 4 years. Last year was his first year back with us, won the damn championship. So
filthy fucking Steelers fan.
Damn Steelers fan. That's right. So, congratulations, Mo. You're the champ until otherwise. So, our draft is coming up on the 28th. We've got Labor Day camping coming up. And then after Labor Day, it's full on NFL every week, from Josh and Dave, the Wrong Call Sportscast, every
Yep.
week. So
You're going to see our shiny, happy faces every week.
making bad picks, bona fide bets. We'll see how they do this year.
And Hawk and Dubby.
And Hawk and
We
Dubby.
need you to buy some Dubby.
Go
Help
to
the show out.
Dubby.gg. What's promo code?
The Wrong Call.
That's
3
right.
separate words at checkout. The Wrong Call.
Get you 10%.
10%. But they also send me promo codes. So
Yeah,
throughout
sometimes
the
you may get a
season,
little
pay
bigger
attention
discount.
to the Wrong Call Sportscast page on Facebook, and I will slide you another code that they are giving me that you can save
That's
up to
right.
40 or 50% off.
Absolutely.
And you get, you know,
I've tried many of the
the
flavors.
dust. You
And-
can snort it, mix it, whatever you want, or you can get some badass shakers, all different kinds of stuff.
I've tried a lot of flavors. Trust me, they really, really are good. I'm not just plugging it because they're plugging us, but it's actually some good stuff. So make sure you guys check that out.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
we got another major big announcement. We will be unveiling, once we go through our process, our vetting process, the Wrong Call is going to have a brand new fucking logo. And we're not rebranding.
no, we're not rebranding. We're revamping. We're updating.
Image wise, we're coming out here with a brand new logo.
Got some new merchandise
Yep.
we're coming up with. It'll be out
So
for
there'll
season
be
3.
new merch with the new logo on the webpage. We'll keep some of the old stuff on there for all you retro guys.
That's
that
right.
Like all the old shit. But
The website's easy, guys. TheWrongCallSportscast.com. All
Yep.
one word. TheWrongCallSportscast.com.
yep. And it has links to the Dubby.
Has links to the store.
It has links to everything if you go to that page.
It has links to the show on Spotify, on YouTube. So
Yep.
everything we've got is on TheWrongCallSportscast.com. Obviously, we've got the socials. We got Facebook. We got Instagram. We got TikTok pages. So make sure you guys are following us. We started last month, we had our first guest from another podcast, catching up with Cody.
Yep. From Detroit.
Awesome
Good
guest.
guy. I enjoyed talking to him a lot.
So we are, that segment is going to keep going. Once we start weekly, we won't do it every week, but we'll try to throw one in once a month. I really love interacting with other guys who are doing what we're doing in the podcast
Different
world.
markets even.
Yeah,
That's totally cool.
That's cool. Yeah, we got,
we
like I
get
said,
their take on it.
yeah, we had Cody from Detroit. We've got Brian from the Last Road podcast coming in here in just a little bit. He's out of the Chicago area, so he's a Bears fan.
The Bears.
I'm not sure where he stands on this baseball, Cubs or White Sox. We'll have to figure that out in a few. But
South side or north side.
yeah, but I know he's a Bears fan. I talked to him on TikTok Live the other night, so I know he's a big Bears fan. So
Or maybe he's a Blackhawks fan or a Bulls fan.
we'll find out. We'll find out. He'll be on with us here in just a few. So one other thing I want to bring up before we bring Brian in is the AP released their very first
No, we're going with the
college football poll.
All right.
And, obviously we're here in Indy. His son's a Hoosier. My
all
wife's a Hoosier.
We're all Hoosiers.
We're all Hoosiers, but
Because we fucking live here.
we're a lot of Indiana University people here. So the first AP poll came out just this past weekend. And let me give it to you real quick. I know you don't care a
Throw
whole
it
lot
down.
about college football, but I'm going to give you the rankings.
Hey, man, the season hasn't started. All this is bullshit.
It is.
Doesn't matter if it's NFL, NHL, MLB.
It does. It's just
It's
somebody put a label
speculation.
on it. That's right. But the first AP poll came out and it stands this way. The top 10. Ohio State University is number 1.
I'll give them respect on that.
Number 2 is Oregon. Number 3 is Georgia. Number 4, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
The Golden Domers
Golden
of
Domers.
South Bend,
That's
Indiana.
right, baby. Hey, Brian might be a fan. I don't know. We'll find out. At 5, we
Close
got,
to it.
it is closer to him than it is us. At number 5, we got Texas. Now, I'm not sold on number 5 at Texas. They're just going with the Arch Manning, hope and hoopla there. So our Hoosiers, the 16-0, undefeated, reigning national champions, are number 6. No love for Hoosiers. No love. Number 7 is Miami.
Come on, 6 is low.
They should be 3 at the lowest.
I'm talking history-wise.
I mean, this is big time, okay? But number 7 is
You can enjoy the fuck out of it.
number 7 is Miami. Number 8, Texas A&M. Number 9, Ole Miss, and number 10 is Oklahoma. That's the preseason.
Oklahoma.
That's right. That's the preseason AP top 10 as it stands right now. Obviously, 10 days, college football starts, and probably there's a possibility one of those teams lose week 1, week 0, whatever you want to play.
Yeah,
So
0.
we will see.
Resident Evil 0.
Again, thanks, Dan, maybe, possibly for that intro.
Mhm.
We've got
I thought it was awesome.
we'll see if we get it. If not, you guys will catch the joke. Maybe we'll get it later.
Apparently, he doesn't know a fucking deadline.
Yes. Brian from the Last Row is coming up next. I also have a very special interview I'm going to do tomorrow.
This is cool.
I've got an interview tomorrow with somebody So I heard something on the radio last week, and it was just a very, very short snippet of the Indy Thunder Beepball baseball team won their second back-to-back
That's beep, like fire alarm beep.
World
like
Series
B-E-E-P.
title. It is baseball for the visually impaired. I think it's an amazing, amazing story. It's really cool. Once I heard about it, which I'd never heard about it, I deep dived researching, checking into it. I reached out to the Indy Thunder organization, and they put me in touch with one of the players for an interview, which we couldn't fit it in before we recorded tonight, but I do get to interview him tomorrow. So hopefully we get that done, and I put that in this show. We'll find a place to stick it in. But bringing awareness to guys that love the sport of baseball and get to play it with the impairment is absolutely freaking awesome. So
Exactly.
I'm looking really forward to bringing that to you guys and
I don't
sharing
get to be
it.
a part of that interview, but I'm pretty excited to hear how it comes out.
Yeah, so we're looking really forward to that, and we've got some other things in the work. I got a friend of mine that is a golf coach. We're going to have a little time with this season. So season 3 is coming up. Obviously, like I said, it starts next month, and we've got a lot of new things. Like I said, the logo,
New logo, new approach,
new merchandise,
new characters,
so
all kinds of stuff.
it's going to be fun. Hey, you guys met Carolina Dave already?
He's out there.
We've got some more really fun stuff for that. So make sure you guys are looking out.
We're starting to chill the ice for fucking hockey and getting ready.
That's right. So make sure you guys are looking out on the shorts on YouTube, because I think we're going to have a lot more shorts and small little snippets of things to come for this upcoming season 3. We're looking forward to it. Super freaking excited. So we'll be back in just a moment with Brian from the Last Row podcast.
Yep. See you in a few.
All right. We are back from the break. We have been joined by Brian from the Last Row podcast. As Yegi coined it last month on our first shot at this, we had Catching Up with Cody on with us last month. Making Friends is the working title right now currently. But Brian, welcome to the Wrong Call Sportscast, man.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you
Glad to
guys so
have
much
you,
for having
brother.
me. Appreciate you both.
So you've been doing this. We talked a little bit before we started recording. You've been doing this for a little while yourself, talking sports because it's what you enjoy. And you're based out of the Chicago area, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm about 90 miles west of greater Chicago or downtown Chicago. Yep.
Okay. So you're well, I talked to you on TikTok the other day.
So closer to Wisconsin.
He said west, not north.
We're about 15 minutes south of the Wisconsin border. Yeah.
Oh, look at you go.
You don't know your geography, do you?
Maybe
We
25,
went to
give or take.
That's math.
Yeah, well, same thing. So Brian, you got a little bit of a pulse on your media up there. Everything you're listening to and hearing is Chicago sports. So where do you? Obviously, we're going into football season, which is the meat and potatoes of our show regularly. But here in Indiana, we had to pick either the Reds or the Cubs as a baseball team. So where's your baseball allegiance lie?
So I'm one of the guys that says that, you know what, I don't it doesn't matter to me if you're a Sox guy or if you're a Cub guy. Doesn't matter to me. I root for both because quite honestly, when both teams are good, it's better for Major League Baseball. This is the first
Makes
time.
absolute sense.
What's that?
Makes absolute sense.
Yeah, I mean it's just better overall for ratings. Number one, it's better for business. Number two, in terms of where my allegiance lies, both of my grandfathers were diehard Cub fans. I played baseball as a kid growing up, all through junior high, and I played on a team called the White Sox. So I both of them are equal to me. I loved watching, as a kid growing up, watching Harry Carey and Steve Stone, as well as Hawk Harrelson and Wimpy Ken Pachork or Tom Pachork doing the White Sox games. So, my allegiance is with both, and when both are good, baseball and the city of Chicago. I mean, there's when the city's buzzing like this right now with the Crosstown Classic, and Pete Crow Armstrong looking at an MVP, the White Sox are resurgent this year. It's just it's better for the city.
Absolutely. And before we started the show tonight,
That's a fucking fact.
We were watching the end of the Cubs White Sox game. The north side versus south side.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Cubs didn't get to sweep. They only got 2 hits today against the Sox, but PCA won the game the other night in heroic fashion. So
yeah, he's making a case right now for NL MVP as far as I'm concerned. And I think he's staked his claim to that after that game the other night. 5 total bases, stolen base, leadoff home run, walk-off home run. He's out hitting Ohtani. He's got a better WAR, wins above
this guy's
replacement.
in my wheelhouse right now.
He's got a better WAR than Ohtani. Ohtani's at rough and tough a 3.7, so you round that up to a 4-win player. PCA is at 7.7, so PCA is 4 games better than Ohtani.
You've made Dave happy, Brian.
You're talking the numbers that I always talk, and nobody understands what the hell I'm saying.
I get it. Listen, we're speaking foreign language to the people, so
Yeah,
But
ERAs, balls batted in,
right, exactly.
all
BABIP,
that
all
stuff.
of that. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the analytics anymore are what drive voters to vote for MVP and things like that. Right now, Pete Crow Armstrong is, you could argue, the best player right now in Major League Baseball.
It's nice to see Ohtani's been
That's close. That's close, but he's doing his part.
Ohtani's been so dominant the last few years in the National League. It's been hard for anybody to even come close. So the fact that we've got a Cub that is up there contending for the NL MVP is amazing. And like I said, we're in Indy, so it was Cubs or Reds or something of that nature growing up. Dave and I,
or the goddamn Cardinals.
Yes. So Dave and I have grown up as Cubs fans. So it was my son was went to DePaul University for a few years up there.
Okay. Yep.
The Blue Demons. So he was there the year the Cubs won a World Series. He was in Wrigleyville the night of the World Series win. So it's an amazing, amazing story. And my son was like, "Dad, the entire Wrigleyville was out partying and they were setting TVs on people's porches for the crowd to watch."
Mm-hmm.
So my son got to be a part of it, and growing up as a Cubs fan, it was pretty neat to actually witness it and see it happen. So
that to live through his eyes.
Yeah. So my son gave me a whole lot of insight to the Cubs winning a World Series. Pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's something I'll never forget. I mean, I'll be honest. I watched 2015 with my dad. That was the year that my grandfather, who was a diehard Cub fan, passed, and we watched the playoffs that year where they were pretty much a year ahead of schedule. And they got to the NLCS and they got swept by, I believe it was the Mets. And then, the next year it was like, okay, let's see what happens. Let's see. And then they just got on a roll and it was like, okay. And I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about it because I can remember Game 7. I started watching it at my parents' house. And when Madden went out and pulled Hendricks, I said, I got to go home and finish it. I'm like, I can't be around you guys watching this because it's just, I just can't. So I went home and I was literally pacing in my bedroom at that point in time, living and dying on every pitch.
And then the rain delay.
Divine
forever
intervention.
and ever.
Yeah.
Harry Carey.
That was the very first time I ever cried when a team that I've rooted for my whole entire life actually won a championship, and I bawled like a girl.
Oh, I will say this much. I watched all the post game, crying my eyes out just because I was thinking of my grandfather.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Gramps, we did it. Cubs won. They did it.
Eyes.
Yeah.
Eyes.
Yeah.
And the next morning I got up at, I want to say like 4:30 in the morning. I went to bed, I think at 1. And I got up and I went to Dick's Sporting Goods here in Northern Illinois, in Rockford. And they had Cubs World Series champion t-shirts.
Nice.
And I was like, I got to get a couple. So I grabbed a few and I'm like, I got them. So, collector's item for sure.
I went straight to buying the newspaper headline.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I imported all those from Chicago, the headlines and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
I have them in a drawer. And one day my cat will inherit those.
I did that when the Colts won the World Series. I mean, Pacers. I mean,
well, they didn't win the World
Series. The Super Bowl.
If the Colts won the World Series,
that'd be a news story in and of itself.
Amazing.
A whole different thing we got to deal with then. So, Brian, are you a hockey fan?
Oh yeah.
Blackhawks?
Yes, sir.
So with our show, obviously I do it with Dave. I pay a lot of attention to college basketball. Not really NBA. NBA kind of destroyed me after the Malice in the Palace and the whole.
I get it.
We talked to Cody about this last month. Once that happened, I think the NBA went downhill. So I kind of lost interest in NBA the last few years. But I'm college football, college basketball. Dave is diehard, pays attention to all the MLB and really, really close in the NHL stuff. So it works. It works well, and then we're both diehard NFL guys, so we cover all of it between the two of us pretty well.
Yeah, and I've watched your guys' show. I love it. First and foremost, you guys do a great job on it.
Hey, Thank you.
Secondly, what our podcast or what my podcast was going to be about was, friends getting together, talking sports and things like that. So, the fact that you guys are able to do that and you do it really, really well, and you guys play off of each other just perfectly. So it absolutely works.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. That was the whole goal.
You want to come down to Indiana and make out for a little bit?
I'm sorry, I'm married, but for the right price.
I'm
No, I'm
married
just kidding.
too, but I got a hall pass.
He's got a great in his garage downstairs. We record at Dave's house. In his garage, there's no cars in there. We've built a bar. We've got numerous TVs. That's where we watch Sunday Ticket at every NFL game every Sunday down here at his house. So,
yeah.
But again, that's when the meat and potatoes of the Roll Call Sportscast is the NFL season, which is right around the corner. So
yeah, I know it. We're not used to optimism in these parts right around this time of the year with the NFL and with the Chicago Bears. So this is uncharted waters realistically for the first time, and I would say close to 20 years. I mean, 05, 06 when Lovie Smith, went to the Super Bowl, they lost to the Colts, of course.
Yep.
With Urlacher.
Yeah. Rex Grossman Rex Grossman had a really great season that year.
He did. And it was Ron Turner, former his second tour of duty with the Chicago Bears at that point. He was the offensive coordinator in the mid 90s under Dave Wannstedt, and then back with Lovie and that West Coast offense that he ran back in the mid 90s, and it still translated into 05. Devin Hester running the opening kickoff back first time in NFL history.
With all the light bulbs going off.
Exactly, yeah.
Running it.
That was hard. I thought the game was over at that very moment. I really did.
Listen, I was like, there's no way they're losing. There's no way they're losing. And then, the defense just didn't play well. Tommy Harris didn't have a good game, and Tommy had been dominant really that whole season. And Urlacher and Briggs and Hillermeyer, they were just out of position. And look, when you lose to one of the top three quarterbacks of all time, in my opinion, in Peyton Manning, and look, Tom Mora as the OC, it was a perfect mix of those guys, and it was just great.
Didn't Chicago have Peanut Tillman at that time too?
Yep.
Mr. Punch Out?
Yep, the Peanut Punch. Yep, exactly right.
Yep.
But yeah, Hester broke my heart right out the gate. I thought it was over, but
it was awesome. I thought it was awesome.
Grossman fumbled a couple snaps there in the rain.
Yep.
Didn't really hold it too well, but obviously the Colts getting there that whole entire year was all up and down to the eraser, Mr. Bob Sanders, the greatest safety of all time in a short time.
You just, as a Colts fan, you had to make it past the fucking Patriots.
They stopped two of the best running games in the whole league that
Priest
year.
Holmes.
Priest Holmes and Jamal Charles
and Larry Johnson.
Was that Larry Johnson?
They were both on the roster.
Yeah.
Well, and the other part of it too, I mean, if you want to talk, comparisons realistically, and I know you guys said that, the NBA, the Malice in the Palace, I remember it well. I was on the air in college when it happened.
Yeah.
So you look at what the Colts had to go through to get to that Super Bowl with the Patriots. Was very similar to like what the Bulls had to go through with the Detroit Pistons back in the 90s with Jordan and Pippen and Horace Grant and Phil Jackson, having to get over that hump of Isaiah Thomas and Bill Laimbeer and Dennis Rodman and John Sally and Joe Dumars, all those guys, the bad boys. Very similar, comparison-wise. So, if we had to lose to a quarterback, I'm glad it was Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I agree. Like you just mentioned about those guys back in the day with the Bulls, I would hope that in today's NBA, these guys are what do they call it? Time management,
load management. Yeah,
load management. That's what they call it. And those guys back then, and that's why I love the older NBA. These guys are sitting, they're taking breaks, and they want to say that they play harder. There's more, but the physicality in today's NBA is not what it was then. That's what started turning me off. The ticky-tock fouls. I mean, LeBron's flopping obviously is known to everybody in the world, but yes, sir. Yeah,
that's a foul.
Yeah,
that's a foul. And you got to flail back, right? Yeah.
I got a tech right there.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So that's where my NBA kind of obviously, like I said, I mentioned the Malice and Palace, but after the second three-peat of the Bulls, everything started going. That Malice and Palace was the year that the Pacers should have won it prior to 2 years ago, but everything kind of changed and the whole dynamic of the NBA switched, and I just don't care for it anymore. And obviously, 2 years ago we were on vacation during the playoffs of the Pacers, and watching that run was pretty exciting and fun with Halliburton just making things happen out of nowhere. But obviously,
and that was another thing going back to your city. Just make the city proud. We were all happy that the Pacers were doing it.
Yeah. I mean, look, let's be honest here. Prior to 2 years ago, really the last time the Pacers were, and I hate using this term, but it's the only one that's popping in my head right now, relevant, okay, in terms of the NBA playoffs, was when Larry Bird was the head coach.
Yep.
Exactly.
And you had Reggie Miller, Rick Schmitz, all those guys, Mark Jackson, you had a collective there where realistically that put the Pacers, I think, on the map. Realistically, and then of course their rivalry with the Knicks in the late 90s and early 2000s.
30 for 30s on that one. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean that the Reggie Miller, looking at Spike Lee and choking, that was all that put the Pacers on the map. And when they played the Bulls, and I want to say it was 97 or 98, one of the last runs that they had with the Bulls, and the Bulls had to go, I think it was 7. In the Eastern Finals against them.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, is that when Reggie and Michael got into it and one of them choked the other one?
Yep. Yeah. Exactly right. And I remember Jordan saying before the game, after Game 6, we're going to win that game. We're going to win that game. And Jordan willed the Bulls that night. And I mean, I was fortunate enough to not. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to see him play a couple times. Once at the old Chicago Stadium and then once at the United Center. And I mean, there was nothing like it. I mean, it was just incredible.
Oh, absolutely. So obviously he's on the GOAT is still Michael and not LeBron for all.
Oh, absolutely. There's no comparison.
Well, as a Chicago guy,
there's that too.
He's not a Cleveland or a Laker guy by any means whatsoever.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the facts though. I mean, Jordan was with one team pretty much his whole career. Okay, other than the last 2 years with the Wizards, which I don't really count.
But also he was part of the White Sox.
Yeah, there's a whole other backstory. Yeah, there's a whole other backstory with that one.
He couldn't hit a curveball.
A ball.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you look at the finals. Jordan was undefeated. LeBron has lost 3?
Yep.
So I mean, there's no comparison in my book. Plus, Jordan didn't take days off. Jordan didn't need load management. Jordan would be out till 3 in the morning.
I like this guy.
Defensive player of the year.
Or Jordan took days off when he went to Vegas and came back hungover.
Right.
And still hung up 33.
He would literally go to the casinos, gamble until 5 a.m. that morning, be at shoot around holes at 10, and then put up 45 and 10, and it was nothing to him.
There's no comparison.
No.
These kids today. Social media has made them think LeBron's the great. Longevity does not make you a better player than Michael Jordan.
No.
Calm down, Boomer.
But yeah, I mean, LeBron. The term load management didn't come in until LeBron.
No,
so,
not at all.
That's where I think the NBA has lost it. And I mean, quite honestly, they're looking for their next star. They're looking for the next face of the league because it was LeBron for a very long time in the very beginning. LeBron was the face. Then once he took his talents to South Beach and became the villain, the NBA lost
really
their.
I don't think he's ever recovered from it.
No, never has. And that
well,
ultimately
he made plenty of money off of it.
Absolutely. And ultimately, then at that point, it was LeBron was the villain. Everybody hated Miami. They loved to see Miami lose to the the Mavericks and whatnot. So LeBron's legacy at that point, I think, was tarnished.
Sure, for sure. Do you get to experience very many games up there, Brian?
Not too many. My son is starting to get old enough now where he watches them with me, and he will he'll look at me if Dad starts yelling at the TV just because I'm a homer. I'm not going to deny it. So I root for the Bulls, so I feel like once he gets older, we'll go to more games, I think. And now that the Bulls are kind of making a turn a little bit, we went last year to the Cubs Brewers up in Milwaukee late last July, and I spent way too much money on tickets, but I got us, because it was his first game ever, I got us right behind the Cubs dugout. Literally, we were the front row behind the Cubs dugout in Miller Park. And one of the Cubs assistant coaches, their third base coach, Quentin Berry, I'll never forget it, threw him a ball. And he caught it. And it
nice.
Oh, yeah.
Him and you will both have for a lifetime.
Oh, absolutely. So I've got the ball in a little little shadow case for him and things like that. So, I mean, it's just great memory like that. I mean, you can't beat. So I'm hoping the Bulls get good so I can take him to the United Center. And then, we'll go to, Rate Field where the White Sox are. And then hopefully when the Bears move to Arlington Heights, we'll go there.
Or if they move to Hammond, Indiana.
Yeah, Hammond.
You know what? Here's my thought on that. If they were really going to move to Hammond, Indiana, and I'm sorry to say this to anybody in Indiana that's watching and listening, if they were going to move to Hammond, Indiana, there would be a for sale sign right now at Arlington Raceway.
Yeah.
And there's not.
It's still a big bargaining chip for Chicago. Obviously, they're still trying to get everything worked out, and I get it. And the Indiana media is selling it basically as it's a big deal. It's already a done deal, which,
right.
If you follow the sports media, it's not yet, but it's definitely giving a lot of leverage to the Bears themselves because, the whole organization was down there just a week or so ago looking at sites in Hammond and said they had to go look at another site. But the Indiana legislature has made a big, big push to make it worth their while if Chicago or the state of Illinois can't make something happen. So
they're willing to raise our taxes just for the Bears.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, so I look at it twofold. Okay. Number one, Indiana has made an incredible push to get Chicago.
Oh yeah.
To get the McCaskey family, specifically George and Kevin Warren's attention, to get them to absolutely consider moving there. Now there was a point in time back in I want to say it was 89 where the Bears were looking at a site in Gary, and everybody in the NFL, because of how the Bears presented it at that point in time, laughed at them and made fun of them for it. Back in the early 70s, George Hallis, Papa Bear Hallis, he
Papa Bear
noticed Arlington Heights and he thought, this is where I want to go. And he was planning on moving the Bears to Arlington Heights back in 71. And Richard Daley, the mayor of Chicago at that point, said, if you do that, I will sue you for the name of the Chicago Bears, and you will never be known as the Chicago Bears. And Papa Bear Hallis didn't want to deal with that, so he kept him in Chicago. But that was always his dream, was to go to Arlington Heights. Then that became his daughter's dream, Virginia McCaskey. And then prior to her passing, the former Bears president, Ted Phillips, bought the land in Arlington Heights from Churchill Downs.
Yep.
And, they've got 320 acres there. They are the largest private landowner in Illinois and in Cook County. The fact that they have that much land and, they're looking at now a second site in Indiana because the first site didn't pass the soil test. Plus, there's other factors in Indiana. The area that they're looking at, I want to say, was it Lost Wolf Hollow?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
There's an Army Corps of Engineer easement on that says nothing can be built there until 2050.
Oh yeah.
So
they're ready to move now.
Right. And they've got a lease at Soldier Field until 2033. They don't own Soldier Field. That's a big misconception that people think that the Bears own Soldier Field. They don't. They rent it. Yeah, they rent it from the Chicago Park District. So from August preseason football until, theoretically January, that's when the McCaskies, and that's their only business. They don't own any other business. The Bears are it. That's their income, and that's all their money that they get. Now they have to split some of it with the Chicago Park District. If you know anything about Chicago and the Park District there, they're very stingy. They don't like giving money away.
Yes.
So the Bears have to lease that from them. They're willing to break the lease starting rough and tough 2030 or so. So the stadium time clock is ticking. They've had the Arlington Heights land for years.
Yeah.
When the Bears were at George McCaskey, Kevin Warren, they were out on last week talking to the media, as they do every training camp. While they were doing that, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell flew to Springfield, Illinois.
I did hear that he went up there to try to help make the deal to keep them in Chicago, and keep them from moving to Indiana.
He did. He went down there. He met with Governor Pritzker. He met with the bigwigs down there, trying to get, look, this is the NFL, and trying to get them to essentially get a special legislative session going.
To work it out.
Work it out so that way the Bears could stay. The NFL would bring X amount of, dollars in. we'll give you this amount for Super Bowl. We'll do this. We'll do that. The same thing happened back in Minnesota when the Vikings were looking at their stadium. They brought in the commissioner at that point to do it, along with Art Rooney II, who was the head of the stadium committee at the time. And they did that at that point. So Illinois just likes to drag their feet on things. The other factor.
I told you, just talked to him a little bit on TikTok the other night.
Yeah.
Brian's tuned in, man.
I mean, the other factor
I just want
of
to
all
tell
this.
you know your shit, man.
Well, thank you. I try. Listen, the other factor of all this is that Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois, he has aspirations for 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And
Gotta fix that city first.
Right. If he loses the Chicago Bears to Hammond, Indiana,
That's out. Yeah.
The Chicago Democrats will make sure he doesn't even sniff the ballot for the Democratic ticket. So he's got that factor of it too. And I've said it on my show a few times. Roger Goodell has ties to Chicago. His wife is from Chicago.
Yeah.
Grew up a Bears fan. So he's got ties to Chicago that, even though they don't like to admit it, he's tied in with the Bears a little bit. So
the Bears, I mean, from an overall history standpoint, the Bears are, one of those original old school teams, that based out of Chicago on the lake,
Monsters of the Midway.
I mean, so many things that go back in time and history, with Chicago being if Soldier Field as the Bears.
Chicago is a rough and tumble city.
Yeah, that's what made the
It's
the Monsters
New
of the
York
State.
by Michigan.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
and
losing that for the NFL is I guess a bad look for the NFL as an overall. So there's a million different ways that they want that.
But I can't say that because the New York Giants and New York Jets play in New Jersey.
Yeah,
and that's
on.
the comparison.
It's always been that way. The Bears are a little different.
I know, but all we're doing is breaking down tax brackets.
It's all it is.
That's all there is to it.
I mean, you can see, and there's a video that's on Twitter right now from a diehard Bear fan, sitting up in the upper deck of Soldier Field, and he takes his phone and he looks and he zooms in, and you can see the Indiana plants of where the Bears are gonna of where the Bears are gonna be looking at building. And that's the quote unquote selling point that George McCaskey is trying to get Bears fans to believe, is that, look, the access is going to be right there. It's a little bit further than Soldier Field, so you're going to still you're going to be right there. You're 10 minutes from the state line of Illinois. Yada yada yada. The bottom line is they own the land in Arlington Heights. They don't even own the land yet in Indiana. So and they're going to be in the same type of a deal with Indiana, where they're going to lease the stadium until they pay it off, and then it becomes theirs. That's not what they want to do. They want their own stadium.
With all this hoopla going on with the stadium, the Chicago Bears are finally relevant again.
Yes.
Caleb Williams has finally turned the corner. It looks like the team is, obviously they're in a very, you're in a very, very tough division up there in the NFC North. But I think they've finally turned the corner, and Caleb Williams might be the guy. I mean, we joked a lot about him on our podcast.
He's not bad. I mean, before the Bears got bounced last year in the playoffs, he made amazing plays.
Oh, yeah.
And it was amazing to watch. I was like, holy shit, that was awesome.
Have somebody.
Yeah, I think they do.
I mean, I will tell you guys this. I was at training camp 2 weeks ago. Took my son there. Second year in a row we went. It was a great time. Caleb Williams looks like a different player. Caleb has slimmed down. He looks 10 to 15 pounds thinner. He looks faster. And what I mean by faster, I mean not only his legs, but his processing speed is faster. He's also become more accurate.
The most important thing is the process.
Bingo. The other thing, too, is his footwork has gotten better. His accuracy is better. And watching him that day at training camp, I think he was 9 of 10 in red zone drills.
Yeah.
And finding different guys, not just focusing in on Colston Loveland or Cole Kmet. I mean, he was spreading the ball around. So, I don't want to jinx anything, but everything with the Bears this season is going to be dependent on the defense. And if Dennis Allen, I think Dennis Allen's coaching for his job. I'll be perfectly honest, the defensive coordinator, because of the fact that he has there's a history there with Dennis Allen, and we've talked about it on my show of how he coaches players with his technique. Typically, there's a lot of soft tissue injuries. That's exactly what's happening right now in Chicago with the defense and the the secondary specifically. So ultimately, it's down to, can the defense go from a bottom third to a realistically a top 15, and if they can do that, they'll be good. They'll be a problem for everybody.
Stay in the top 5, hold your ground. That's all you have to do. Because Ben Johnson said, I want to make this the best offense in the league that anybody's ever seen since the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, and Ben Johnson, look, he's so diabolical. He wants to have the number one scoring offense of all time. And he's got the guys to do it. He's got the guys to do it without question on the offensive side of the ball. The biggest question is, are they going to have to score 40 in order to win games? They've got the toughest schedule again in the NFL, but I think they've got the right guy finally. And guys, I will tell you this. I used to go to Platteville, Wisconsin to watch the Bears practice as a child with my dad and my grandfather, and we saw how Mike Ditka used to run practices. Ben Johnson is very similar, where every single drill has a purpose. Every single rep has a purpose. If he doesn't like how something looks, he has no issues yanking guys out to get somebody else in there to show them how it's done right. And I think that Ben Johnson has really done a good job kind of restoring the order and the organizational order to the Bears, to where now, okay, front office, you deal with the business side. Let me deal with the football side.
You write checks. I'm going to worry about plays.
Exactly, and I'm going to worry about personnel too.
Yeah, Dave and I were high on the Ben Johnson hire just because we really enjoyed what the Lions were doing.
Oh yeah, there ain't no lie.
I know it's NFC.
Ben Johnson was the shining turd out of that whole effing thing.
But Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson, what they were doing in Detroit, we knew, and we talked about Ben Johnson going to Chicago with the young quarterback that was kind of a match made in heaven for the Bears.
I thought, me personally, anywhere Ben Johnson was going,
they were going to be successful.
Shit was going to happen. So gladly, it went straight to the Bears in the same division.
Yeah.
Well, he went from Detroit straight to Chicago,
and people in Detroit hate him for it. I mean, let's be honest here.
Oh yeah, obviously.
And the fact that he got, he went to Chicago primarily because of Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And so, the fact that
to start with a brand new quarterback.
Exactly. And Caleb said a year ago he felt like he was drowning in Ben Johnson's playbook. This year, he says it's night and day difference. He goes, Ben still gets on me. Don't get me wrong, but ultimately, he's a much better quarterback now compared to where he was a year ago. So if the offense can continue to develop
toward the end of the season. Caleb Williams.
I'm not going to lie. That last playoff game when he made that amazing fucking throw like a dart,
we on our show
to
last
keep
year,
them alive, I was like, wow.
We joked
that was amazing.
Early because obviously he came in anointed as the one. So we cut on it a lot early in the season, and as he progressed and started learning, we were like, this kid might actually be the real deal. He might actually have it. And toward the end of the season, even us on our show were like, well, we have a segment every.
The scheme and the talents are all matching up right now.
We have a segment on our show called the shittiest quarterback of the week.
Yeah,
and
we do.
We give an award every week to the worst quarterback of the week through the season. And
Mahomes won it several times.
So, but early in the season last year, Caleb got on it a couple times.
Yep.
Luckily, we didn't have AR because the year prior, Anthony Richardson was on it numerous times for us. So, but yeah, Caleb definitely looked better toward the end of the season. And if the progression continues, there's great things to be said in Chicago. For
the Bears left off after that playoff game.
Yeah.
The Bears left off. I want more.
Yeah. Sour note in their mouth. More to come back.
I'm like, as a fan on the outside, as a fan of the whole NFL, the Bears left me. Okay, I'm curious about this
what they're
team.
going to do next year.
Let's go.
And they got rid of DJ Moore, who I think last year cost them one of the playoff games. I think he didn't show his best effort in the Rams game. You could tell after the game that Caleb was very upset by that. And you just knew it. Ultimately though, Ben Johnson is going to have guys that he brings in that are going to be players that he wants, guys and guys that play or will play the style that Ben Johnson wants. And so in terms of personnel, yes, there's a general manager in Ryan Poles. Ben Johnson, I think, has player personnel decision over Ryan Poles.
He should.
Because Ben Ben wants guys that are gonna fit the offensive scheme the right
Fit
way.
the system. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think he's starting to mold this team how he wants. And look, year 2 with Goff in Detroit was much better than year 1.
Oh,
Year
they were
2
still
with
fun,
Caleb is already looking better. So we'll
But
have
they
to
got
see.
better every
Yeah.
year. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So the NFC North is actually a battled division. It's better than the AFC North with Lamar
Burrow
and Burrow and
Shador Watson.
leave Cleveland and Pittsburgh
Ugh.
out of it.
Yeah,
but
I know,
we're
right?
always storied. We have to hear about this
AFC
division
North. Yeah.
and the fucking NFC West or East with Dallas and Philly.
Yeah.
Every year we got to hear about that stuff.
I tell you what, I'll tell you a division to keep an eye on this year, truthfully, and it's going to be it's twofold. Obviously, you got the NFC North with the Bears and the Packers and the Lions.
Right.
Those three.
Yep.
I think Minnesota's going to be by the wayside. I think. I
Yeah.
think. I'm looking at the AFC West as being one of the most intriguing divisions this year
I 100% agree with you.
because I think that you've got the Kansas City Chiefs' last dance with Travis Kelce, potentially Andy Reid. You don't know what Patrick Mahomes' health is going to be, number one. Number two, you've got Bo Nix with Denver. There were issues last year between Bo Nix and Sean Payton. I think that's why Payton gave up the play calling to Davis Webb.
Yep. And they
So,
worked that out.
yeah, so Bo Nix coming
And
off of an ankle injury.
Fernando Mendoza
Sure.
for
yeah.
the Raiders.
And look, the Raiders to me, I'm just telling you right here and now, Kirk Cousins in a West Coast scheme like Clint Kubiak runs, and the Kubiak name is synonymous with outside zone West Coast scheme because of his father.
His dad in Denver.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
His dad was in Denver with Mike Shanahan for years.
Yep.
They were together in San Francisco together. So you have a guy that runs a West Coast scheme. Kirk Cousins flourished in a West Coast scheme in Minnesota. So therefore, look, everybody wants Mendoza to see the field, right? And I agree.
I don't think he does till week 6 or 7 if he does it all this year.
No, let the kid hold out.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Not
And
hold out like contract wise,
No.
sit,
but
learn.
protect the guy like they did with Aaron Rodgers behind Favre.
Yeah.
learn how to
And
be a
Let
pro.
him
Behind
sit
Rodgers.
and cook.
Yeah, learn how to be a pro, number one. Number two,
Right.
if Kirk Cousins looks as good as he did in the first preseason game, now granted, it's preseason game number one.
Yeah.
But in terms of comfortability, Cousins looked really, really good. He looked in command of the offense. He looked in command of every aspect of it. If Cousins is like that, Vegas might be a surprise team. And
Yeah.
you may have the Kansas City Chiefs looking up maybe at the Raiders, depending on the health
Chiefs
of
are
Mahomes.
finished- the Chiefs could finish third or fourth in that division
Right.
because the Chargers are winning that.
Well, the Raiders have to stop somebody from scoring.
That's that.
They
well,
do.
And whether Max Crosby stays or
You
not,
might
we'll
have
see.
a great offense, but
Yeah.
Max Crosby can't do it all.
No.
I personally myself have
No
been-
matter how many tattoos he's got.
I have personally been very, very high on Justin Herbert for years.
Yes.
And I love the fact that Mike McDaniel with his little weird ass from Miami is a new OC there. I think Herbert could be an MVP and they can win the AFC West.
You're
The
talking
I've been saying
fanny.
this for years. You
I know you're
I love
talking
Justin Herbert.
fantasy
I'm a big
stuff.
Herbert fan.
San Diego has always had great quarterbacks. San Diego Chargers.
yeah.
Before they moved to LA.
Yeah. But I love Herbert and the Chargers with McDaniel and OC.
You got a guy that can throw the ball and they still can't win the game. Philip Rivers, all these people.
I will just say this much about the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh was brought there to get them over the hump. Okay.
Yep.
Now the fact that
No,
they brought in,
Here's the time.
He's
Right.
going to do it wearing khaki pants from Kmart the whole time.
hey, that's all right because you know what? He wins wherever he goes, whether it was San
Yeah.
Diego State, whether it was Stanford, whether it's the 49ers, whether it's the Chargers, whether it's Michigan. So,
Harbaugh's going to be like, Google me, I win.
Exactly right. Yeah. And so I think that bringing in Mike McDaniel as your OC,
I love it.
Mike McDaniel has one of the
I think
most
it's
complex outside zone run schemes in
Yep.
the NFL. And it's
And they've
successful.
legitimately got 3 decent backs there in LA.
Exactly. It's very successful. So now you're pairing Justin Herbert, who undoubtedly is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL. The problem is that he's underachieved because
Yep.
of injuries.
Yep.
So if now you have a healthy running game to help him, the problem that the Chargers are going to run into is their defense is older.
Yep.
So
Mac and Darwin James, those
Right.
guys are up there.
right. So if the defense can hold up and Herbert can stay healthy, look, you're getting your 2 bookend tackles back. That's going to help you immensely
Yeah.
in Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. So
Golden Domer, baby.
exactly right here, Notre Dame. So
Yes.
so
Wow.
I love it.
listen, I got blue and gold in my veins. My great uncle was a coach under Parsegian and Dan Devine.
Oh,
So
that's freaking awesome.
so we go back, decades in my family at Notre Dame. So I'm a diehard Domer.
That's
but-
okay. Brian's a great guest to have.
Way to go, Brian. You tickled the fancy.
Hey, listen, both sides. Listen, I play well with crowds, okay? But the defense for the Chargers has to step up, and if Herbert stays healthy, then look, they've got a legitimate shot at winning the West, I think, this year.
Yeah, I completely agree. So, Brian, before we
I'm still saying Chargers going to be doing Charger thing.
Brian,
and they very
Yes,
well might.
you will be good, but you're going to poop the bed
Right,
at
exactly.
any moment.
Brian,
Exactly.
before we cut you off, I want to go ahead and get a quick prediction from you. Who's winning the NFC? Who's winning the AFC? Just your opinion.
Look, I think Seattle wins the NFC. Their defense is still too good. I think Mike McDonald is a phenomenal defensive coach. He is on the level on the defensive side as Ben Johnson is on the offensive side. I think it's Seattle over Chicago.
I agree with that.
in the NFC title game. I think from the AFC, I'm going to go with Buffalo. I think that Buffalo has
Not the Colts.
not yet because
Anthony Richardson, AR5.
listen, I love what the Colts do, and I love Jonathan Taylor, and Quentin Nelson should have been a Bear in my opinion. Just saying.
I
But
watched that draft, and I'm so happy that he wasn't.
I know.
Just the same way I'm really happy that Tyler Warren, that you guys took Loveland instead of Warren.
Well, listen, you guys have a phenomenal tight end, as do we. So
Yes.
I think it's a win-win for both. I like Buffalo just because I really like the synergy between Josh Allen and Joe Brady, the new head coach, who was his offensive coordinator.
Definitely helps.
It certainly helps. It's going to be interesting though
I mean,
to
if
see what they
Buffalo
do on the
takes a
defensive
step
side
back-
without McDermott.
What do we do?
So we have a joke here. When I was growing up, I've been a Bills fan. I'm a Colts fan. I live here, but I've always been a Bills fan. I mean, I cried. I watched them lose 4 in a row. I was vested in the Bills. I love
Yeah.
Jim Kelly and Thurman Townsend. So I'm still a huge Buffalo fan, and I'm always pulling for Josh Allen. But man, he's got very, very few chances left.
And that's
Window is closing.
Yeah.
very, very quickly. It's closing on them, and bringing in DJ Moore will help. But I think Buffalo fans are going to realize real quick that DJ Moore is not going to be all the answer. You've got to have James Cook this year,
Yep.
run the ball really, really well. Your defense without Sean McDermott's going to be real interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
You gotta-
we'll have to see
They
what
lost last year because they couldn't stop
Because they
anybody.
couldn't
Well,
stop him.
bingo.
Absolutely.
and that's why they've lost the last few years is because
Yep.
the defensive side of the ball that was Sean McDermott's special.
Yep.
I mean, you went into a soft shell cover when
the
Mahomes
shell.
was at the 20-yard
Oh,
line,
please don't do this.
right?
And they did that.
And they did it, and that cost them the game. So I think we see Josh Allen this year ascend and get the Bills back to the Super Bowl. So I think Seahawks and Bills.
I'll be okay with it. Obviously, Dave's a diehard Panthers fan, so
Yeah.
Yep.
he had his
I'm
run
just
with
looking
Cam.
for the up. I'm
That's
just.
right. You
I got the Stanley Cup, so I'm cool with that.
That's right. That's right. You won the NFC South last year too. So
Hey, we were in the playoffs, man.
Yeah,
It's the
and
best
look-
thing
and-
I've done since Cam Newton's been there.
And Carolina took the Rams to the brink. No
yes,
question.
they did.
Yeah,
no
they
question.
did.
That was an amazing
I'm not
game.
mad how they left off.
Yeah.
They played. I'm totally cool. Just like with the Bears, like I said.
Yep.
They left us wanting more.
Yep. Seeing what you got.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So, hey, Brian, plug everything for us so everybody knows how to where they can
Yeah,
find you. and
give
where
us
they can-
all your links and everything.
Yeah, so you can find us on first and foremost on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, just under Last Row Podcast. You can check us out on YouTube Live, X Live, TikTok Live. You can check us out on YouTube at Last Row Podcast, X Live at Last Row Podcast. You can check us out TikTok Live, last.row.podcast. We are on Facebook. We just launched our Facebook page, so anybody that follows you guys, like us over there. It's the Last Row Podcast there. And then we've got a new partner that we're working with called Sideline.fm. It's an overseas company that is based over in Melbourne, Australia. They are looking for, and they reached out to us for content creators in terms of NFL action. So, I will pass your guys' information on to those guys over there. They do a great job. You can have call-ins on the show if you're doing live stuff, which we've been fortunate to do. So we're going to be doing a lot of Bears coverage, NFL coverage for them this upcoming season. But yeah, otherwise you can catch us on all the major platforms, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I appreciate you guys having us on here tonight.
Hey, it's been a real freaking pleasure, man. Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
you for joining.
Yeah, we will obviously we'll follow back and forth with all the stuff and tag and vice versa and things coming forward. So maybe we get closer down the line in the season. We'll get you on again, catch up, see where our Colts, the Panthers, and the Bears are running, and obviously on the socials. You were on that TikTok live. Anytime you're on there, you want to get the other podcasts out there, join them. It's a great community that we have. Talking to guys that are doing what we're doing. It gets exposure for your fans and our fans, and keeps us all going and growing. So I love it. I love that we're doing this with other podcasts.
Yep.
So thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up is I think it would be really, really cool. And it's just something I've thought about. And I talked with catching up with Cody here today about it. Doing almost like an around the horn or pardon the interruption with the podcast guys.
Yeah.
And having a weekly rotation of podcast guys, where you have 4 different podcasts all in one chat, with all of their followers coming together and doing a weekly recap of whether it's the NFL, whether it's, the sports story, whatever it might be, just the community of it. It's fantastic. I love being a part of it. And again, thank you guys so much for having me on. And I look forward to having you guys on the Last Row as well.
Absolutely, man. Perfect. Thank you much. So
Happy to join you. Thank you for joining us.
Sportscast, joined by the Last Row Podcast. Everybody, make sure you check out his show.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Brian. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Love you, brother. Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed that segment with
Hold on, I gotta fix my hair, bro.
Still the working title of Making Friends. We were joined by Brian from the Last Row Podcast. Brian,
great conversation. That dude knows his shit.
Yeah, awesome conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
And, expanding our podcast community with everybody else doing our thing. Brian, you were awesome. Great conversation. Yeah. We will definitely talk again. Real quick, we are going to move on to an interview with Aaron from the Indy Thunder,
the Beepball
World Series champion. So
should be a great interview.
Yes.
Can't wait to
check out this interview, and we'll be right back with you to wrap things up in just a minute.
All right. Welcome to the Wrong Call Sportscast. I am half of the show, Josh Tidwell. I'm being joined by Aaron C., the first baseman. Is that correct, Aaron? That's all right. Hey, Aaron, what position do you play?
So in our sport, it's a little different, right? So when you think of a baseball diamond, you think, first and third are your baselines. So with beepball, we split it down the middle. So we actually use a number system and a depth system. So straight down the middle for us is the number 6, and then the baselines are number 1. And then we play short left, mid left, deep left. And then we also play short right, mid right, deep right. So depending on who we're playing and what game, I will either play in the middle, mid left, or deep right. So that's a little different when it comes to baseball, because everything's auditory. And if you think of a grid pattern, that's the way we have to play. And then we have some sighted spotters that will call out the number, but they can only say one number depending on what side of the field it's on. So your left field spotter will say 1 through 6, and they will inflex the number. So if it's a short ball, they might say a quick 1. If it's a deep 1, then they might draw out the number 1. So 1 all the way out. The left spotter and the right spotter, if they call the same number, that's okay, but they can't call 2 different numbers, because if they do, then that's an error, and it's an automatic run. So
okay,
but I play mostly in the left, middle, and deep right, and then 4th or 5th in the batting order.
Gotcha. So when did you first get involved with beepball and the Indy Thunder?
So I've actually played for both Indy teams. So there's the Indy Thunder, which is my current team, and then the Indy Edge, which is a Southside team. But so I graduated college in 2017. About the time I got diagnosed with my eye condition, and I never thought I'd play sports again. And then, lo and behold, I got a job with Bosma Enterprises, and got connected to the Indy Edge, and I played there for 2 years. Then I transitioned over to the Indy Thunder just because it's, a little bit better in proximity. And for my, routine. So I started playing with them. This would be my 3rd year. So what was that? 2023?
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, from what I've read and a little bit checking up on, the Indy Thunder have won back-to-back titles. Is that correct?
Yeah. So over the last, what is it? So they won 5 in a row. Then the other Indy team won 2 in a row. And then a team from Philadelphia won 1. And then we just went back to back. So in the last 10 years, the Indianapolis teams have won 9 of the World Series. The Indy Thunder have won 7, just 5 and 2. So in kind of 2 different stints.
That's very cool. Very cool. So how many, I'm sure this organization, they do it, nationwide, right? So how is there a league per se that so many teams that you guys get to play, or how does that work?
Yeah. So we have regional tournaments all over the country. Our actual affiliate is the National Beat Baseball Association, so the NBBA. And so roughly usually about 20 to 21 teams. And it is also international. Last year, we actually had the team from Taiwan make their return after COVID. We had a tournament last year in Puerto Rico that we didn't go to, but we're trying to expand a little bit more internationally. But we have regional tournaments all over the state. We host one here at North Central called the Beepball Bonanza every year. There's some in Chicago that we go to. I'm actually getting geared up to go to the All-Star event in George Mason in Fairfax, Virginia in October. There's tournaments on the East Coast, West Coast, Texas a lot. So yeah, it's a lot bigger than people, might think.
Sure. And like I said, in my email I sent out to you, I had never even heard about it. And one day last week I was listening to sports radio, and I heard them just mention that the Indy Thunder had just won their second back-to-back championship in beepball, and just a quick, brief little snippet of what it was for the visually impaired and blind people to play baseball. So I got back to work and had to Google it and started reading all about it, and I thought, man, this is just a really, really cool opportunity for, like you said, you thought you weren't going to get to play sports anymore, and to have this available for people with visual impairments, just I think really, really cool.
Yeah. And so we have some sponsors. We work with the Indianapolis Indians. They sponsor our organization. We actually have been around for the Indy Thunder has been around this is our 25th year. The league, now don't stat check me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's been around since the 70s. I don't think there was records kept before the 80s or late 80s. From what I'm learning, I've only been playing for 6 years, so some of the history I'm still, shaky on. But same thing, I never heard of it. And I played football 30 minutes away from this team that was playing on the South Side, and I've been a native in Indianapolis for 20 years. Never heard of adaptive softball ever in my life. And then just randomly, working with Bosma Enterprises, they help people transition with vision loss. My boss's boss comes in, I get hired. He comes in, closes the door, sits down. First thing I think, I'm getting fired. I don't even know what I did. And James Michaels looks at me and goes, "Have you ever heard of the sport beep baseball?" And I'm like, "No, not at all, man." I was like, "I thought you were coming in to fire me." He's like, "No." And so he invited me to a batting practice on the South Side. I think it's extra innings south. Instantly fell in love. Much different because my vision loss is, degenerative, and it's a slow progression of vision loss. So being under a blindfold, which is how we keep the playing field even. So even if you have glass eyes, or you have some usable vision like myself, or we even have guys that drive still because they haven't progressed. Everybody plays under a certified blindfold called we have a couple, but the Mindfold and the Goal Fix. So there's a couple different Mindfolds that, were sanctioned by the league just to help with the competitive nature of it.
Yeah, to keep the edge equal for everybody. So
right.
So let's see here. What makes the Indy Thunder special to you? Just the fact that you're getting to play, or is it just as an organizational thing? I'm sure there's a lot of outreach with other visually impaired people and folks and organizations as well that all kind of work together on keeping this thing running, correct?
Yeah, yeah. So our biggest sponsor for the NBBA, which is their national umbrella, is Jersey Mike's. Actually, they just donated because we had our 50th year anniversary. That was this year. They actually donated $200,000 to our league. So they've been a partner for quite a long time. But what kind of makes the Indy Thunder so special is just the organization. We have a great general manager. We have a board of trustees because we have a non-for-profit status. Just the organization. It feels like the way a championship program should be ran. I played at Franklin College. I've been a part of great programs with Mike Leonard and the Grizzlies. And I miss that kind of organization and building dynasty. And so I wanted to be a part of it. And just having the sponsorship with the Indians is awesome. They recognize us. We go to a game. They say, defending world champions, and we have players come out. And it's cool to see those players as they're developing. We got guys that are fighting. One of the guys got signed to the Dodgers a couple of years ago. So it's just cool. And I shook his hand. I've talked to him. So like, he probably doesn't remember me, but he might remember, the visually impaired team that he was a part of for a small practice. He might not know Aaron, but, following his career and things like that, it's just awesome. One, like you said, to be back in sports, I've always been a sports guy. I've wrestled, played football, track, never was really good at baseball. I kind of blame it on my vision, on my athletic ability, but, so baseball was never my thing because I just struggled with it, but man, once I found beat baseball, I was like, wow, this is something I can do. Cause
it's got to be rewarding still getting out there and run and be active and, in a physical sense, Yeah.
Yeah. And so like those are the barriers, right? With vision loss, it's really hard to navigate some places like a gym. It's very loud. There's a bunch of people. You can't just go out and hit a track and run, exercise, just agilities, things like that I've done my whole life with sports in high school and college. You close that door and now you're like, man, how am I going to stay in shape? Like, what am I going to do? And then you find a sport like this and, I'm not gonna lie, there's some practices that I'm like, man, maybe not for me. I'm doing a lot of up and down, like our bodies are getting beat up, cause we feel so much different.
I mean, the guys are getting down on the ground searching for the ball,
we're diving, and I dip a lot on turf in college and things. Much different when you had big old shoulder pads and helmet on. Now my body's taking a lot of the blunt force, and so it was just great finding somewhere where I can run freely, sprint. I never thought I'd be sprinting full on out after the age of when I left school at 22 or 21. And most people don't. Like that's kind of the you look at the statistic, a lot of people never sprint or jump or do any of those activities after the age of 25, 30.
Sure.
We got guys that are like, I played with a guy from Houston. He's 76 and he's out there.
Really? Still out there doing it. That's still so cool. There.
I just couldn't believe it. We got guys in their, like I said, 76 all the way to, 15, 16, 17-year-olds that are, very early into their vision loss, but they're finding a network where they belong. Right. And being blind, you can, sometimes you feel sheltered, like your independence is kind of in question because it's not as easy as it once was. And then you find this group of just guys just competing at the highest level, and having a blast doing it. And it's just a different feeling of enjoyment that, I've been chasing. I've been in the league for 6 years. We've had a lot of success. The Indy teams are very, very good. We're kind of the mecca, of the sport. Jared Woodard, the pitcher for the Indy Thunder, he is phenomenal. He actually is a certified orientation mobility specialist that teaches people how to use their cane. But he also played baseball. Like for the last, 12, 13 years, he's had the highest contact percentage in our whole league. And so he doesn't miss your bat.
Walk us through that a little bit, because just so people kind of understand. So the pitcher it's not an opposing team player. They're there and kind of giving you a 1, 2, 3 as it's coming, for you guys to kind of get the auditory pickup of when it's coming your way.
Yeah. So I'll just run you through kind of the game itself, right? So the ball is larger than a softball. There's actually a league in Chicago called a mush ball league, and it's a bigger ball. I think they're called the Rock if you buy them at Dick's. So we had an engineer put a auditory beeper in it. So it has a tempo and it beeps so we can hear the ball, which is how we filled it. You don't really want to listen to the beep when you're swinging because you'll swing before and after. So the pitcher and the batter are on the same team. So his cadence is all about timing. So he'll say, set, ready, pitch. And, there's some rules behind how long he can elongate the word pitch and those things, but his cadence is key. And then he finds your timing. So you really don't want to change your swing. It's kind of like golf, right? Like you're not going to change your swing. You're going to change your club, depending on your irons and distance. So consistency and timing. And that's where the practice comes in. So we practice, at the beginning of the year, we're in the cages. And that's all about swings and cadence. We don't even use a live ball because he wants you to get used to your timing regardless of what the noise of the ball is making. So the ball, beeps, the pitcher, set, ready, pitch. We swing, try to make contact. We use a little heavier of a bat because the ball does weigh 16 ounces and our home run line is at 170, which you think, that's probably not far. A lot harder than people would like to admit to get that ball over.
Sure.
I think, I'm a big guy, pretty strong. I've had 6 home runs in 6 years. No one in our league has had 10 double digits yet. There's a guy on our team.
It's hard to swing that hard for it when you're not real, confident, I guess, where you're going. But like you said, the timing is the big part of the same swing path, having the pitcher putting it in the same place for you, so.
Correct. And our bats. So a lot of us have transitioned into a DeMarini Windy City, which is named after, the Chicago, and that's who they make the bats for. But like I use a 36-ounce bat and a 38-ounce bat. I usually do a lot of the regional terms, so 38 just to condition myself for the World Series as, there's a lot more swings, a lot more games for a week. And so, that's a pretty heavy bat. And it's aluminum. It's one solid piece, but it's meant to swing hard and hit a ball hard. And so like a composite bat or wooden bat, we've seen people use them. They snap in half, they break because of the weight of the ball and and just the pure power behind it. And so, and our pitcher's at 20 feet. So he's close. So they take some shots,
Sure.
Unfortunately I would say I've hit a couple pitchers in my life and I felt bad about it. But and so then we have, if you think of a, normal baseball diamond, we have 2 bases. So you have first and third. Okay. And those turn on at random. So if you've played baseball your whole life, you kind of take a cheater step to first. That actually hurts you in our league because you don't know which one's coming on. And so I think the biggest transition for most, if you've played baseball, is opening up and running to third.
Sure.
It's just such a different thing. So a lot of us have more of a balanced stance, not so much a closed stance or an open stance because, you just don't know. And those bases are about 3 foot tall. They're made out of foam and they buzz. So the ball beeps, the bases buzz. And so we got to find those bases before the fielder finds the ball. And so unlike baseball, our scores can get up into the 20s and 30s because every time the ball's put in play, there's a score or an out. And so you tackle those, you hit them. There's some rules about how you can field the ball. It's got to be up off the ground, off your body. So it's so exhilarating, honestly. It's America's pastime, but it's a little, altered because of the vision loss.
Yeah. And again, like I said, that's the part that kind of piqued my interest was, like you said, baseball is America's pastime. Everybody loves it some way, shape, or form, or has at some point in life. And seeing it in this regard, like I said, that I knew nothing about, I think is just, I just think the fact of giving anybody an opportunity that has other, some things taken away from them is just extremely, extremely cool and neat. And I love to support it. And like I said, again, I really wanted to talk to somebody just to kind of, our show is, our Wrong Call Sportscast that Dave and I do. Oh, meat and our potatoes of our show is mostly NFL. We talk, we do our show weekly throughout the NFL season. And in the off season, we do monthly. We did a race special in May, a master special in, April. So, obviously my co-host Dave is a huge baseball fan. So he keeps up with all the baseball stats. I'm more of a college football and college basketball guy. So we work well off each other. So
right.
But yeah, I wanted to bring awareness. I put some stuff out on our social media stuff. Whoever I spoke with at the Thunder organization said, hey, I reached out to Aaron. He'd be happy to do something with you if you contact him. And she said, make sure you send us the interview and stuff. We'll put it on our Facebook page and stuff like that. Like I said, bring some awareness to the sport just because I think it's really, really neat.
Yeah. And I love it because that's one of our biggest things is we're trying to spread the word because we do have two phenomenal teams here in Indy and we are the Mecca. We actually, we have that tournament at North Central and IFC Network does a lot with us with Greg Raystraw. And so he comes out and they film the game, they put it on their network. And he knows a lot about, beepball. As he's been a big advocate for us as well, and we see him a lot. So that, that's our goal. We're just trying to spread awareness because like me, like you, I never knew about it. Never, not even close to know about it. And with someone that, got diagnosed with a vision loss, there's all kinds of negatives that comes with that internally, mentally, all those things. Finding a sport was the saving grace, right? And so
sure.
if this, if somehow we reach out to someone that, unfortunately gets that news that they're going to lose their vision or they have some kind of vision loss and they're athletic or not even athletic, you just come out and try it.
You get a part of a team atmosphere, whether, you were athletic before or after, or even if you're not. So, being a part of a team with something like that is very fulfilling for a lot of people. And it's helps them heal in some way mentally, just to have that group effort or that team behind you that you can count on. I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah. And that's the goal, right? We want to spread awareness and just let people know that there is this adaptive sports world that a lot of people, myself included, had no idea it's out there. And if we find, 3 or 4 people, we work a lot with the School for the Blind here in Indianapolis. I'm actually the wrestling coach. And so we've gotten some students involved and now the superintendent is my old boss that I thought was going to fire me. So, he's a big advocate and also, we're all professionals in our own career. So there's some kind of mentorship and guidance like, hey, yeah, you got diagnosed with the vision loss, but look at all these successful people. We got a guy that's a lead engineer for accessibility at Salesforce on our team. There's just a plethora of people. We got an ex-lawyer that worked at Lilly with Chris. And so like, there's just a plethora of things that it complements life.
Yeah. Great community,
physical, everything.
Yeah. That's awesome. Hey, I want to thank you for taking the time. Like I said, I was looking forward to this, learn a little bit. Reach out to us, some practice dates or anything like that. We'd love to, me and Dave come out to a game or a practice. How does, let me back up, I guess, a little bit. Now that you guys just had the World Series, when does your schedule pick back up again? Is you got to wait throughout the winter or?
Yeah. So like I said, there's an all-star event that they're done the selections. That's at George Mason University in Virginia, October 1st through the 3rd, I believe. So I'm gearing up for that. I'm still in training and then we kind of go dormant until after the new year. And then we're in the cages at the Bat Cave on the south side or the east side. And like I said, that's all about timing and repetition. We also do some agility drills at a indoor soccer complex on the west side. And then, once May, April, kind of the weather turns, it looks like our tournament might be May 21st, the weekend before the race at North Central. Now there might be some complications there. We might have to push it till the first weekend of June or the first weekend of June. But we're practicing. We're at Broad Ripple every Saturday and Sunday. We have those fields. We've had that partnership for a long time. And we're out there getting ready for our tournament because there's some tournaments earlier in the season, kind of in the South and in the West Coast. But once our tournament kind of happens, that's kind of like the meat and potatoes of the season.
Kickoff for you guys.
So, yeah. So it goes our tournament, Chicago tournament, another tournament we might get into. And then the World Series is earlier this year in July. So it's July 17th week, I believe. And so it's kind of a short calendar year for us, but we're super excited. But yeah, I can definitely share, or I'll have Christy reach out.
We've got
our calendar as well.
Yeah, we've got our Wrong Call Facebook page.
which, like I said, I've got Indy Thunder following now. I'll send her this interview with you and some snippets of the show. And yeah, like I said, we'd love to get out to an event or a practice or something like that. Do take a little video, maybe talk to some of the other teammates. And like I said, just keep the awareness coming, man. I think it's fantastic. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, no, it's an honor to be on here, and man, we would love to. If Dave's really into baseball, we'll put him under the fold and let him swing.
Absolutely. That'd be a great video for us.
Some IMPD officers and some guys come out and do it. We actually had them come out and they loved it as well. They just couldn't believe it. We've had youth teams come out and as long as you got a good baseball swing, Jared can probably find you. But the funny part is the running. The running to the base is comical. You see guys
I bet.
look like, they're running into a wall. They're trotting along about 15 feet, and we're like, well, you gotta keep going.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Because they hear the bass.
I've definitely got some clips in mind for that.
Okay, it's so funny. And then we have our own YouTube where we record all our games. Jessica and Chrissy do a phenomenal job with our marketing and PR. And so, but we would love to put you guys under the fold, let you put a big bat in your hand and see how you run.
Awesome. Aaron, hey, again, thank you so much for the time. It was a pleasure to talk to you. We will keep in contact, get stuff out there. And hey, Indy Thunder, Beepball.
Yep, trying to go for that three-peat, make
That's
history.
Right.
So,
all right. Well, Aaron, again, thanks so much, man. It was a pleasure meeting you, buddy.
You too, Josh.
I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Aaron from the
Totally
Indy Thunder.
cool. Totally cool. That's a great foundation. That's a great league. Awesome story. Go for it.
You guys definitely follow it, check them out, and a little awareness for the Indy Thunder Beepball baseball team. Helping those guys out any way you can is amazing. I'm glad they get to do it. Aaron, thanks for your time. So we had a fun show. We had the interview. We were joined by Brian from the Last Row Podcast.
Yep.
Dave and
From
I
Chi-Town.
from Chi-Town. He, like Dave said, guy knew his stuff. So
That motherfucker knew politicians, who owns land rights, all that
he's
stuff.
down. Yeah, he's tied in.
And I didn't even know what to say. I was like, oh, let him talk.
So, like I said, this is our last monthly episode, if you will.
Mhm.
And by the way, if you guys did those,
It's
Dan,
not.
Dan did come through with an intro. So thanks, Dan, the pride of Norwich. But season 3,
It's pretty lame. Get it tighter.
season 3 starts. The first game of the NFL season is Wednesday, September 9th.
Yeah.
So we will probably post our first show of season 3 on Wednesday, September 9th. We will record on Tuesday.
Don't forget the logo unveil.
We got a new logo. We got new gear coming out. We've got a lot of new things coming. We've got a lot of fun ideas for season 3, with some reels and shorts and things to just to entertain you from the Wrong Call Sportscast. So,
We're going to tickle your fancy.
that's right. That's right. So, Dave, where can they find that energy drink they want?
Well, go to w.ggg or the wrongcallforecast.com.
There's a
and
link.
click the link and hit the wrong call at checkout
10%.
to save 10%.
That's right.
Like I said earlier, hit me up. They can save you more.
That's
but
right.
right now, save 10%.
Yeah, we'll have some more promos throughout the course of the season. The Wrong Call Sportscast got the wrongcallsportscast.com has the link to the W.
Yeah.
It has the link
And
to
the swag
store.
shop.
Yeah, has the link to the store, which we have some new merch coming out. If anybody's seen Carolina Dave, there might be just some new gear coming. I'm just saying.
I don't know
guys-
about that, brother.
The guy's coming. He's coming. We've got a lot of new guests coming in season 3. We're interviewing some local people in sports and media. So thank you guys for sticking to 2 seasons, watching our monthlies. Season 3 is going to be a blast. I can't wait. We're coming.
Hope you like to laugh because we're going to come up with some really stupid shit.
That's right. So
At least I am.
that's right. So thank you guys as always for listening and watching. Thanks to our guests, our interviews. Dave, send us out.
Hey, thanks for making the right call and listen to the wrong call.
That's right.
We love you, boys
We're out.
and girls.
We will see you guys next month. Thank you so much.